Welcome everyone once again. We are going to continue from where we stopped. We continue with the first unit of Module 2, Demographic Analysis and Educational Planning. We have the questions here from 2020, 2016, 2017, and for 2020, we have list 4 sources of demographic data. The B part states, discuss 3 statistical procedures necessary to educational planners. We actually discussed this in the first unit anyway, where we discussed statistics and statistical method. We have the procedures being collection, presentation, analysis, and interpretation. We're going to discuss the C part instead. Determine the national growth rates if population is given as 2 million in year T and birth is 60,000 and death is 20,000 in year T. For 2016 and 2017, we have estimate the population for a country X at the end of 2015. If census population at the end of 2014 is equal to 1,050,000, the live births in 2015 being 50,000, deaths in 2015 12,000, immigrants in 2015 23,000, and immigrants in 2015 25,000. We have other questions added here. Enumerate 2 factors to be considered in planning the location of educational institution, and the fourth question to consider will be, what is the relationship between education and demography? Let us begin our discussion by answering the fourth question raised in this presentation. What is the relationship between education and demography? Education has to do with the transmission of cultural heritage from one generation to another. We can define education as a transmission of cultural values, norms, beliefs, principles of a group of people from one generation to another. So generally, education has to do with the transmission of information, method or ways of getting things done, or the right way of doing things. On the other hand, demography is the scientific study of certain characteristics of human population. This includes the size of the population, the growth of the population, the structure of the population, the distribution, the occupation of the citizens of a society or nation. These are the things we discuss when we talk about demography. Demographic study is very important to education, especially in educational planning. This is because all quantitative analysis of educational planning depend on the data or the information of people living in the area, such as country, nation, local governments, communities, states, and so on. You can list them. To assess the needs and demand for education, the educational planner must have a good understanding of the population size. It is very important to state that now. So you have to understand the population size, the structure, and the dynamics of the population for a planner to effectively plan. So every planner must know the number of let's say, the citizens living in a particular area, for you to plan well for that area. If you are a school planner, for instance, you have to know the number of the school going age population before you can plan effectively for the number of schools, the teachers, and other resources that the education of such people will require. Demographic data and information are required by the educational planner to enable him understand the population figures he or she expects to work with at present time and a future dates. The sources of demographic data include census, yes, partial enumeration, sample surveys, and vital registration. Let's discuss this one after the other. Census. Census is described as the total process of collecting, compiling, and publishing of the demographic, economic, and social data at a specified time concerning all the persons living in a country or a specified territory. In other words, census involves the complete enumeration of all the citizens of a defined society, country, nation, community. Census usually reveals the population size, the age, the sex, the structure, and so on. Even the occupational distribution. Census relates all this. Now, partial enumeration. This refers to the type of enumeration carried out for a specific purpose. For example, an enumeration may be conducted to identify the school-age population for a level of education in an area. It may be conducted to identify the need for vocational education by adult learners in an area. It is not like census where every head in a country is expected to be counted. The third source here is sample survey. We have actually discussed sampling before, and we stated that it has to do with the selection of a set of items or the object of observation from the entire population. Then when these are studied, we can now make a generalization. So sample survey is a method through which a representative area is selected for a later generalization. This is considered sometimes in order to cut down the expenses involved in carrying out a complete census. It is also used in cross-checking the census figures. The fourth now is vital registration. Vital registration deals with the record of population-related events in a country. These events include birth, the number of people that are given birth to, the number of people that died, migration, which includes immigration and immigration. Immigration has to do with the number of people that are going out of the country, while immigration has to do with the number of people that are coming into the country. And the fourth one is marriages. They are vital events that must be recorded for effective planning. In many developed countries, these records are very compulsory. Unlike developing countries like Nigeria, Continuous vital registration help the planners to plan well and plan effectively, because the planners who have been able to lay hands on this kind of information will be quite informed on the number of people that they plan for. The information collected from vital registration, such as births, deaths, immigration and marriages, help planners to deduce the current population of a country at any given time. So let's quickly look at the population equation that is derived from this information. Here we have the updated population, which is equal to the current population, birth, B, death, and immigration and emigration. What we are doing here is simply we add the births to the current population, subtract the death, the number of people that died, add the number of people that migrated into the country, and then remove the number of people that migrated out of the country. That will give us the updated population. So we have P2 being updated population, D being deaths, P sub 1 current population, and B being births, and T2 being following year. Yeah, at T2, that is the following year. Let's quickly resolve this question. Determine the national growth rate if population is given as 2 million in a year T, that is the current year, and birth is 60,000, death is 20,000 in year T. So we have the population equation here, but recall that we do not have immigrants and emigrants in this question, so we may restructure our equation this way: updated population to be equal to the current population plus birth rate, number of births minus the number of deaths, and the updated population now will be equal to the current population, which is given to us as 2 million, 2 million, and the birth 60,000 minus the death, which is 20,000, and this we give the updated population to be 2,040,000. Please, you can cross-check this. You can use your calculator to do this calculation quickly. 2 million plus 60,000 minus 20,000, and that will give us the updated population. Okay, let's quickly resolve this question now. Estimate the population for a country X at the end of 2015 if census population at the end of 2014 is equal to 1,050,000, live births in 2015 50,000, deaths in 2015 12,000, immigrants in 2015 23,000, and emigrants in 2015 is 25,000. Okay, solution: we have our population equation here, the updated. We have the updated population to be equal to the current population, that is the population at the end of 2014, which is 1,050,000. The birth, 50,000. Death, 12,000. Immigrants, 23,000. And emigrants, 25,000. All right, let's substitute now. So in place of P1, we have the current population, which is 1,050,000. Then the birth, we have it as 50,000. Then death is 12,000. 23,000 for immigrants, and 25,000 going out, so we subtract 25,000. All right, and this will give us 1,086,000 as the updated population. So this will be the population for a country X at the end of 2015. Let us conclude our discussion by answering the third question here. Enumerate 2 factors to be considered in planning the location of educational institution. The 2 factors to consider in planning educational institution, or the location of educational institutions, so to say, the population size and second, the catchment area. In terms of the population size, there must be certain minimum number of pupils or students that are of the age of primary or secondary school that are living within the area to justify the establishment of a school. But in densely populated areas, we do not need to raise this question, as the number of school-going age are always sufficient in this area. The second factor to consider is the catchment area, as stated earlier. In educational planning, catchment area is the area an institution should serve. The area that an institution should serve is referred to as the catchment area. So the areas to be served by an institution should not be far off, so that pupils or students can easily access the school from their homes. Though this is not applicable to higher institution. And a higher institution can be structured anywhere, since the students for higher education are big or mature enough. So age is a great determinant of the location of an institution. Others include the means of transportation, the security devices that are available, and so on. So I believe we have successfully answered the questions that were raised at the beginning of this discussion. Thanks for watching Maths Guru's video, and please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also share our videos, like as well. We need that. Thank you. Bless you. Have a wonderful moment. Thanks for watching Maths Guru's video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our video so others may benefit from this service. Thank you, and stay tuned.